Hello students, this is Mrs. Jones and I'm here today to do a quick review of metric measurements and conversions. Metric measurements are all based off of prefixes and then base units. In a regular sending school, maybe in a science class or a math class, you deal with or probably have dealt with kilo, hecto, deca, deci, centi, milli, okay? Or if you remember, King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. In the nursing field, we deal with bigger units like mega and smaller units like micro, nano, and pico. So there's a base unit, and the base units for length is meter, for volume is liter, and weight is gram. That's the kind of cool thing about the metric system, is that they use the same structure for all three different types of measurements and many more different kinds of measurements across all of our programs here at ICTC. So the way that you write a unit is like, let's say you would write milliliters. You would write it with the little tiny m, milli, and then liter is always going to be a capital L. So because they don't want it to get confused with one or whatever. Micro, there's two ways that you can write micro. Micro can be written MC, like microgram would be MCG, or you could use this little thing that kind of looks like a cursive U. That is the Greek letter mu, and you'll see it on prescriptions from time to time. So that's kind of how to use the abbreviations. Now in your sending school, when you did a conversion, remember back when I said in a science class you probably dealt with these units. All you did was move the decimal places, decimal point different directions. That's kind of the same concept that I'm going to show you, except that instead of counting this space as one jump on the scale, you need to notice that that's -9 and -12. That's actually a jump of 3 in those spaces, or from those prefixes. So let's look at a couple examples here. Down toward the middle of this page, you have 4,500 milliliters to liters. I want you to get in the habit of not looking at how many spaces, but look at the exponent right here. From milli to just plain liter, from -3 to 0, that's 3 spaces on a number line, and it would be 3 spaces to the left. So in my example here, I'd take this decimal point and I'd move it 3 spaces to the left. Now when you write medication and stuff, these extra zeros that would be here on the end, we need to eliminate those so that no confusion happens. So let's do, I'm going to pick out ones that I want to do with you. Let's do this one, from gram to milligram. So if we look at our chart up here, if I start at gram, grams right here, to milligram, that's 3 spaces. That's a difference of 3 on a number line, so that's 3 spaces to the right, and I would move this 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right, oops, and it would make 2,500, and I need those zeros because they're contained by the decimal point. All right, let's do number 15 as an example. So from centimeter to millimeter. Remember I said I want you to get in the habit of looking at the exponents from centimeter going to millimeter. That means I'm going one space to the right. One space to the right makes this 405 millimeters. Okay, I'm going to do two more examples. I need to make sure I pick out a good one though. I need number 16 here, from milligram to microgram. This is where looking at the exponent is really going to make a difference. So from milli to micro, that only looks like one jump, but since we're looking at exponents, we're going to notice that that's actually a jump of 3 to the right. If I go 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, that's going to make me have 3,000 micrograms. Alright, so the next one and the last one that I'm going to do here is this one, milligram to gram. So milligram, milli is here, gram is in the middle, and if I look at the exponents, that's a jump of 3, and it's 3 to the left. So 3 to the left, whoops, is going to make me go 1, 2, 3. It's going to put the point in front of the 5, and then it's going to have these zeros here. So now one thing when you talk about medical notation, I said this before, these extra zeros are going to drop off. But when we're in this kind of situation, we will always put a 0 here in the front, because that will make the decimal point stand out and it won't be confused or missed, because 0.5 of a gram is a lot different than 5 grams. So when you're answering your questions, you're going to want to make sure that you're following those rules, that you're taking off any extra zeros, and then you're adding the 0 at the front of the decimal if you need to. Otherwise, because mathematically it's right, but medically it will be wrong. Right? So I hope this video helps you remember how to do conversions with the metric system.